Hello, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this week's dose of RHI. RHI's stories of courage, hope, attitude, and inspiration, brought to you by our wonderful longtime sponsors, Wilson Kehoe Winningham. We bring this show to you every week on Wednesdays, going live on our Facebook page at 9 a.m. And if you ever missed a past episode, you can also check us out on the RHI YouTube channel. Just get on YouTube and search for Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana. We have an awesome guest this morning, Mr. Tom Evans. Tom, thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome. Very welcome.
And we're going to hear more about his story in a little bit, but just to let everybody know, if you'd like to make a gift in honor of Tom or any other past patient, feel free to click on the link and you can make a donation. All donations help us further our mission of providing hope and healing and the best rehabilitation in the state of Indiana. So join the RHI family and help us make a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. So welcome, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, this is one of my favorite parts about my job is that I have a chance to talk with people who have been patients and share their story about how RHI has changed their lives. And it's such an honor to be part of an organization whose sole focus is helping people heal and recover and get back to living again after a life-changing illness or injury. And this is hands down one of my favorite parts of my job. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your story. So tell all of us, how did you come to know RHI?
My affiliation with RHI started in 2013, early 2013. I was on vacation in New Zealand with my hiking friends, my wife, and we were having the time of our lives. If you've never been to New Zealand, you need to go because it's just absolutely gorgeous. I was climbing up a hill. My best buddy realized that I was not going very fast. And he said, "Tom, is there a problem? You're not going up this hill." And I said, "I am not feeling well." When we got down next to the bus, I started having massive chest pain. And I realized that I was having a heart attack. That heart attack ended up being pretty severe. And long story short, I ended up in Christchurch Hospital ICU for 2 weeks, and I was not expected to live at all. So my takeaway is when your heart stops for almost an hour, it's not going to do very good justice to your brain, and that's exactly what happened to me. I had a brain injury so severe that the doctors told my wife he's very likely not to survive. So one morning I wake up and I look at my wife, and I actually called her my sister's name, Anita. My wife's name is Tammy. And it was a complete miracle that I was talking, that I was actually able to move my arms and my legs. And I ended up in the cardiac care unit for another 2 weeks. And then when we flew from New Zealand, this is the hospital, since it's fairly close to our house, this is the hospital that Tammy wanted me to have my rehabilitative journey, as I'll call it. That's exactly what it is. When I ended up here, RHI Hospital was trying to help me to reconnect the dots. You really do not, or I should say, I did not really know what was going on. I knew what planet I was on. I knew I was in America, but the rest of it was just lost on me, on really what was going on in my life, what I needed to do to progress. In RHI Hospital, all the therapists helped me to reconnect the dots. I did not need any physical therapy at all, and this is a big physical therapy hospital, but I didn't need any of that at all. I needed everything else because there had been so much loss in that injury, and actually, to be quite honest, you really don't even know what is really lost. So I was here 2 weeks. Progress, the people that I've talked to after being here say that my progress was very rapid. And so when I left here, I went to outpatient rehabilitation up north, and that was Dr. Lance Trexler's team. And they were doing the same thing, helping Tom to realize what is going on, what can we do to help him to be more conversive, more cognizant of what is happening. We worked on money, we worked on every other thing, every other aspect of therapy that you can imagine. That's what was going on, and that happened for almost a year up north with Trexler. So I tried to go back to Lilly to do my job that I had at Lilly for almost 20 years, and that did not work out. So a year and a half being there, I ended up volunteering here at RHI Hospital. It's been a great experience.
So you volunteer here now?
I do. Over 3 years now.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
giving back to
You're
our
welcome.
patients and families. I see you almost every day, and it's always a highlight. You know, you have such a great sense of humor, and you've always got a wonderful smile, and you're just a joy to know.
Well,
and we're lucky to have you be here.
It's been great.
So this is so interesting to me that your injury was actually a heart attack.
Yes, I have cardiovascular disease. Well, at least I found out in 2013 that I have cardiovascular disease. And believe it or not, about a year ago, I was in the gym sitting down, and I started to experience my second heart attack.
Here?
Here, yes. So Pike Fire came to get me, and it couldn't have been more than 35 minutes. They're putting a stent at Methodist Hospital. So the cardiovascular events continue. I mean, the thing is, it was 5 years from the first one, and then the second one happened here, and I was very fortunate that it happened here.
Right.
Because the response was just boom.
Immediate.
Yeah, and the stent was placed. In New Zealand, the stent didn't get placed for probably well over an hour and a half, which is way too long of time for you not to be. But if you can nip it in the bud quickly, your outcome is completely different. Of course, there's no brain injury with that heart attack, but the first heart attack was in the wild, and all bets are off. You can very easily end up dead, which I was, but
so you're literally a walking miracle.
I'm a walking miracle and a walking pharmacy. All in one little person.
I would say you're a walking pharmacy, but you're a walking pocket full of hope.
You should see my meds in my pocket. My med list.
At least you carry it around in your pocket. That's a wise thing to do.
You learn how to do that. Yeah, I have all my medical information in my pocket too.
Yeah. One
never knows.
So tell me, how do you feel RHI has made a difference in your life, your family's life? What kind of impact has RHI had for you and your family?
Well, the impact has been pretty self-explanatory. RHI figured out, first of all, what was going on with me, Tom, and they knew the steps that needed to be taken to start the rehabilitative process. And of course, the family, my wife is a very smart lady, but she doesn't understand how to deal with this. And all the doctors, all the nurses knew exactly, all the Unit 4 people, I owe them my life. They know exactly what is going on with a person that has the injury of the magnitude that I have. I still have a compromised brain. My brain will never function as like your normal brain. It will never be 100%. So you still have things that you have to deal with. I mean, I see the ramifications of my injury still. So we're at what, over 5 years? So I still see the ramifications of my injury every day.
Yeah.
It's much more subtle than it was 5 years ago, but I still see that every day. You live it.
Every day?
Absolutely.
Well, and as you know, we're a traumatic brain injury model system
Yes.
site. So this is our second 5-year grant that we've received as a TBI model system, which makes us one of only 16 facilities in the country that has that prestigious designation. And a lot of that is made possible by donations we receive. So for people who give to the RHI Foundation, you are investing in lives because we're able to provide the best possible care for folks with traumatic brain injury like yourself and many others. So what would you want to say to somebody who has given in the past or who is thinking about making a gift now, knowing that those gifts help us do things like become a traumatic brain injury model system and provide the unparalleled care that we do? What would you say to someone who made that possible and made that happen?
Well, I'm a person that believes that you need to find the best care that you can find. And Tammy would have done the research when she was in New Zealand. She had lots of time on her hands. She had weeks that she could process where I was going to end up, what kind of care that I would have needed. So this was the place that she selected. It is somewhat location oriented, there's no doubt about that. But it's the level of care, the quality of care. And she knew that her husband was damaged and she knew that he was going to need a lot of help. So I would say to anybody, if you want one of the best hospitals in the nation, this is the place to be. The care will be excellent.
Yeah. And we pride ourselves on that. So
yes.
For everybody who's made a gift, thank you so much for supporting us and investing in lives like Tom and Tammy Evans. Everything that you do makes it possible. We can't do it without you, so thank you so much. And thank you for coming and sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. We really appreciate you taking time, and especially for volunteering.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know,
my pleasure.
It's appreciated. So thank you for joining us this morning and for this week's episode of RHI. We hope to see you again next week as we bring another story of courage, hope, attitude, and inspiration. And we hope that this fills you with all of the feels that you should have from a story like this, Tom being a walking miracle. Thanks to Wilson Kehoe Winningham for allowing us the opportunity to bring this to everybody. And we will see you next week. Thank you.